Sorry I'm late. But Criminal has a special announcement before we get started with the show. So if you have any questions, you call me up 721-6014 and you can ask Criminal a question. Now, for the special announcement, I just want everyone to know that Criminal here has decided to change jobs because Criminal's unhappy with his current employment situation. So, Criminal has decided to run for President of the United States in 2012. So, let's talk politics today. What am I going to do for this country if I win? What kind of changes am I going to do? All right. Well, first of all, let's talk about the Secretary of Defense. Now, I'm going to have, as Secretary of Defense, I'm going to have Chuck Norris. Now, working hard as president, it's hard on the bones, the joints, so we need a professional massage therapist to come in. So, we're going to have Monica Lewinsky as a massage therapist for the show. And for the presidency at the White House. Now, the House of Representatives, well, I'm going to bring some of my buddies from the big house over to the White House. And they're going to be the House of Representatives. Now, what kind of changes is Criminal going to make? Well, first of all, we're going to let all my friends out of prison. They don't need to be there. We're going to legalize marijuana. We're going to make this country great and safe again for the American people. How are we going to do that? Well, Criminal's going to tell you. Criminal's thirsty, though. First and foremost, free beer for a year for everyone that votes for Criminal for president. That's right. You vote for me for president, you get free beer for a year. Second, wars. There won't be any wars because Criminal is going to be in charge. And when Criminal's in charge of something, things get done. Now, who's going to be my running mate? Well, haven't really decided on that yet. Maybe on the next show, I'll announce who my running mate's going to be. Now, do I think I could beat Obama in 2012? So, he hasn't done anything to prove that he's going to win. So yeah, I think I could beat him. The person I got to watch out for, though, that has a really good chance of winning is Ron Paul. I got a feeling Ron Paul could beat me. So he's a tough candidate that I got to go up against. And I'm not really looking forward to debates since I've never really done a debate before. So, well, I got my trusty friend here that'll help me get through the debates. So, the President of the United States for 2012 is going to be Criminal if I win. So if you want to vote for Criminal, make sure you write to your representatives in Congress and get Criminal on the ballot for 2012. Now, if you have a question for me, the lines are open. You call 721-6014, and I'll answer your political questions today. Also, we don't have the computer set up today because we're having problems, technical difficulties on live streaming. However, you can still see the show live at MCAT.org. So go to that website and you can watch us there. Also, Criminal already announced on his Facebook page that he was running for president. So you go over to my Facebook page and like my Facebook page. All right. So let's have the people call in, ask me a question about criminal for president 2012. Phone line's open. All right. Let's talk about some of the tough topics that criminal is going to want to change when criminal wins 2012. And let's talk about slogans too. All right, first call. Yeah, you live. What do you want?
Yeah. Hi, I have a card, and I think you're making us all look ridiculous. That has a legitimate card.
What kind of card?
You're talking about marijuana, and your face is covered, and it should be legal in all states. I'm 50 years old. I have no abuse problems with nicotine, any opiates, anything. I've used it medicinally since I was 15 years old. It helps psychosis. It's proven. I see you, buddy. I just wonder what you're doing. You're just, I know it's coming up September 30th. I'm voting. I hope you do. You seem to be pro cannabis sativa. I like the ointments, the tincture. I use it in my foods, my butter, oils. It's helpful in fibromyalgia, pain, mental conditions. But I want to know what you're doing and what I can do to help, sir.
Oh my God, shoot me now. That's why I'm not married. Women, they don't know when to shut up. Yeah, I'm pro cannabis, marijuana. A lot of lawmakers, they don't want to make it legal. What's amazing is President Obama spoke to marijuana, but he won't talk about it. He won't talk about the times that he smoked it, and he won't legalize it. And then you got all these politicians, McCain and Obama himself, and all these other people, even Palin, they all say that it's a drug. Well, it's not a drug. It's a plant. So why is it that we have them illegal? It's a plant. It's not a drug. And about time that the politicians understand this. All right. Now my slogan for running for president is, yes, you can. Similar to Obama's, but Obama's was, yes, I can, or something like that. Mine is, yes, you can. So if you go into a bar and you walk up to a pretty girl and she won't give you your number, you tell her, yes, you can. She won't go home and sleep with you, you tell her, yes, you can. So that's my slogan, yes, you can. Because you could accomplish anything you want to do in life. And you could legalize marijuana, like the lady was talking about. All right, phone line's open, 721-6014. Call me up. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about how criminal is going to change this world in 2012. As president, criminal will get things done. All right. Oh, I just saw on the internet this guy's went to prison for shoplifting, and he went to prison for life. For shoplifting? I would have took him out to eat or bought him a candy bar. But he's serving life in prison for shoplifting. Too harsh of a crime. That's one thing criminal would change. You do the crime, you better be willing to do the time. Because criminal would sentence you to the maximum amount by criminal law. Criminal law. I like that. I should write that down. Criminal law. I don't have pen or paper. Oh, criminal should also mention today, I ran into some parked police car. But shh, don't tell anybody about it. Uh, yeah, I drove off. It's funny. A cop shows up and he's just scratching his head going, you know, he's on his radio, calling headquarters, doesn't know what to do. I thought it was funny. Anyway, back to the subject. Criminal is going to run for president. So if you want to vote for me, call me up 721-6014 and we'll talk about it. I'll talk about any political views that you might have. So give me a call, 721-6014. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties. You can't email me a question. We're trying to get those fixed. So when we get it fixed, you will be able to email me a question. The show's being produced and directed by Inside Head Productions at an undisclosed location. Got to keep it that way. Some about the prohibition officer not very happy. But vote for criminal, so if criminal can get off probation, and criminal can change the world. As a matter of fact, talk about the world. One thing criminal would do that our politicians are not doing is we're always sending our troops over to these other countries. Currently, we have military troops in over 130 countries all across the globe. Criminal would send them home. We don't need to be in all those countries. Not at all. And foreign aid. Well, foreign aid, we don't need to send foreign aid to all those countries. All those countries need to start fending for themselves. Yeah, you're live. What do you want?
Yes, I agree. I have a son in the Navy. He's a diver, and I want him home. I want him to come back to Montana. But do you know that's the only way he could get a job? He graduated from Superior, Montana. He is on a ballistic missile sub. I can't say no further. I'm proud of him, but I want him home. If I had the money, I would have sent him to college to get his education. That's the only way I could get it. I don't understand why Montana can be so poor. I don't understand the political term for it. We're not very sovereign, I suppose.
No, we're not at all. And you know what doesn't make any sense is people have told me, criminal, hey, why don't you go to college and get a degree and go do something? But look at all of the people in Montana, people in Missoula, especially since Missoula's a college town. Look at all the people here who have a degree, and where are they working at? They're working over at McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or someplace. You know, they got a degree and they're not even using it. They went to school for 2, 3 years, 5 years, and they're not even using the degrees. Plus, there's a lot of people that have multiple degrees. So why should criminal go get a degree and then not use it? Or a lot of people will have the degree and they decide that that's not what they want. So they go back to school and back to school to get multiple degrees. I don't understand that either. They're not doing anything. Thank you for your son's service, and next time you talk to him, tell him we respect his service, and thank you very much, okay?
I thank you for your time and your patience and for what you're doing. I know you're trying to do what's best for not only our government, but for this state. And God bless. Take care.
Bless you too, and thank your son for me. Thank you.
I certainly will.
That's a nice lady. And I want to do a shout out to our son that's in the Navy. A personal shout out from Criminal. I want to thank you very much for your service. Your gratitude is much appreciated. All right, now, as I was saying, we have all these people in all these countries, and they've been there since the 40s. And they ended up living there because our government won't bring them back home. I say we bring these people back home from all these 130-some countries. As far as foreign aid goes, we're spending all this money to give foreign aid to all these other countries. Well, what are they doing for us? Not a damn thing. Why is it that America has to be a country that everyone calls to? All these countries hate America. But what do they want? Well, they want America to send troops over there to their country. They want foreign aid. They want food from us. But when we want something from them, now it's a different story. So I say stop sending foreign aid to all these other countries and bring our troops home from Iraq and Afghanistan. You know? Yeah, you criminal, what do you want?
Yeah. Hey, how do I get some of that foreign aid?
Foreign aid, that's funny. I don't know, but maybe if you're an illegal immigrant or, living in a sovereign country, maybe you'd get some foreign aid.
Are you sure if I got my green card?
Yeah, green card, man. You got a green card?
Is that gonna work?
It might work.
Cool, I'm gonna try it. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, no problem. Well, Criminal's here to help. So you got a question, call 721-6014, and Criminal will try to help you out. Because Criminal wants to be the president 2012. All right? And we'll stop giving foreign aid to all these countries. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking about it the other day. You know what we need to do is, I'll tell you after the phone call. Yeah, you're live.
Hey, man, how do I get away with robbing a bank?
All right, as Criminal once said before, Criminal doesn't tell people how to do crimes. All right? This is not Criminal Law 101. All right, now back to the subject. If you want to call me up, you call me up, talk to me about anything except stuff like that. Because it's not Criminal 101. All right? So, what I realized recently was that our national debt, I got a perfect solution for our national debt. This is what we do. And it's kind of complicated, so pay attention. All right, what we do is, first of all, we pay back China, we pay back Japan. Now you're saying, how do we do that if we're trying to raise the national debt without spending more money? Easy. This is what we do. We give them something that they want. They need weapons to fight their enemies, we give it to them. We give them food. Now, I know I said no more foreign aid, but that's the countries that's not helping us out. That's the countries that we don't owe money to. We owe money to Japan. We owe money to China, to a lot of other countries. So let's pay them back with something that they want from us. Maybe they want our military to help fight their enemies or whatever. Let's do that. Now, second, what we do is now Criminal's forgetting. A criminal is a smart fellow. He thinks about it. And this is what we do. First of all, we take a drink of wine. Strong stuff. And second, what we do is we have these countries that owe us money pay us back. Because there's millions and billions of dollars out there that these countries owe us money. And we make them pay us back. We stop getting foreign aid to people that don't help us out. We make people that owe us, to America, the great USA, money, and we make them pay us that back. And we pay back everybody we owe. Also, this is a great idea. When politicians run for the president, they go out and they travel all across the United States and they raise money. And Obama, he raised what? $55 million last time around or something like that. It was a lot of money. But then he stopped. He took all that money, put it into his campaign, and most of it goes into his pocket. Well, why stop? If you can make $50 billion campaigning, then continue to keep on doing that, even when you win the presidency. And all of that money that you get from all the sponsors, you take that money and you put it to the national debt. And that'll help out clear national debt. That's criminal's idea, and criminal will do that. All right, call 721-6014. You got a political question? We're talking about politics today. All right, not telling people how to commit crimes. That's not what this is about. It's not Criminal 101, but ask a criminal. What do you want?
Hello. Yes. I don't know how to reduce the national debt. I don't have any ideas, clues. I'd like to start with each state. If we can get some people in our state to help Montana, I know I don't want to rag on this, but medicinal marijuana would bring in so much income legitimately. Grow it, tax it. We could have indoor growing here, professionals. We could have labs set up and test it, whether to know it's a sativa to bring you up for certain illnesses or an indica to take you down for pain, etc. It would produce so many jobs. It would help our state alone. I know it's hard to look at the big picture, but if we can just help our own neighbors, our own neighborhood, our own state, let's start there. And then perhaps when we're together as a nation in the United States, all of us together, then we can be stronger and fight for help others. We have to help who are in our backyard first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you.
The police, you're welcome. The police just found a whole bunch of marijuana plants over in the Lolo forest area. I think she hung up. But the police found a whole bunch of plants, 130 plants or something over the Lolo forest. And what did they do? They burned it. Well, she's right. And that's another way criminal would take care of the national debt, is we would legalize marijuana and we would grow it here in the United States and use the money from that to take the national debt and say, F you to the national debt. All right, now that the criminal used that terminology, let's talk about freedom of speech. All right, freedom of speech. Now, for criminal, I personally believe that freedom of speech should mean that you can say anything you want, any damn time you want to say it. But we're politically correct the way we're supposed to talk about things. All right? That's the lifestyle that we're living right now. And criminal, don't like it. Don't like it at all. So freedom of speech, for me, means you should be able to say anything you want, any damn time you want to say it. Now, there are times you need to be respectful and for other people, people of authority, and not say certain things. But that's just all about respect. That has nothing to do with freedom of speech. That's just respect for your fellow man. Same thing for freedom of expression. All right? Let's talk about gun rights. All right? As you can see, I got my 45 over here. I got my Glock 9. I got my letter 22. Got my shotgun. Got some handcuffs. These are the very handcuffs the criminal escaped from. Before I finally got caught and was forced to do this show. All right. So let's talk about gun rights. So the Constitution says we have a right to bear arms. Criminal is just like Ron Paul. All right. I'm all for the Constitution. That's why I think it's going to be hard for criminal to win against Ron Paul. Because the guy is smart. He's a doctor, businessman, very smart man. And criminal, well, I want to win the presidency, but it's going to be hard against Ron Paul. So my vote is going to go to Ron Paul. All right? Because we have the right to bear arms. Now they say, well, if you commit a felony, you don't have the right to bear arms. Because, well, you broke the law. That's not what the Constitution says. All right? And then you have to think about it, too. There's a lot of crimes that are committed with knives. All right? And there's a lot of crimes that have been committed by criminals that are felonies, but a gun was not used in the process of that crime. So they end up getting convicted of, drugs, and it's a federal crime. Therefore, they lose their rights to bear arms. All right? Why are we doing this? Why are we saying, well, if you commit a felony, and it doesn't matter what it is, we're going to take these away from you? Is it because people say, well, we're not smart enough to judge for ourselves? Because that's what our government is telling us. Our government is saying, we're not smart enough to use guns in a smart manner. Well, criminal has an idea on that. If you want to know, you and talk to me, you call 721-6014. In the meantime, criminal is going to tell you what he thinks, what happened with gun rights. All right. All right, back in the early 1800s, you had the farmer and his family living on the ranches, and you had the sheriff and 10 local townspeople teaching their kids the proper use and safety of guns. Like, for example, how to safely take out the clip, how to load the clip, how to cock it, how to aim, and how to pull the trigger. But what happened? Our government happened. Our government said, you don't have the right to bring a gun into town. Once that happened, the farmers stopped teaching their kids how to use guns. And it wasn't just the farmers. It was the townspeople. It was everybody. Everybody stopped teaching their kids how to aim, shoot, pull the trigger. And it wasn't just for self-defense. It was for going out hunting. We were no longer allowed to bring our guns into town to keep them in our houses. So once that happened, the whole craziness of gun laws just went out the air. Now you got this Brady Bill, and you got the Patriot Act. Patriot Act wasn't even read by the Congress. That's why I like Ron Paul for president, because he has the idea that if you're going to read a bill, you should have 10 days to read it. You have to read it. You can't just sign off on it and say, well, yeah, we're going to pass it. And that's what happened with the Brady Bill. All right? And criminal is totally against the Brady Bill. The criminal is also totally against the Patriot Act. So we only have a couple more minutes left of the show. Call me up, 721-6014. And let's talk about your favorite political subject. Yeah, criminal, you live.
Yes, if the state of Montana, if we would stick with the amendment to let the states govern themselves, we would all have the right to bear arms, whether we had a misdemeanor, a felony, or what. We have wild animals in our backyard. We need to hunt for food. It's all about the states, and I am proud that Montana does try. They try, but the government is sucking us in. We are getting caught up in all these acts, Brady, etc. But let's keep together, Montana, and let's fight for our right to eat and to protect ourselves.
I couldn't have said it better myself, and time's almost up, so I gotta go, but thanks for calling, okay?
Thank you for your time. Keep up the good work, and I am voting for Ron Paul.
All right, thank you. All right. Criminal is voting for Ron Paul, and I think you should too. Criminal out.